Hi all, welcome to my channel Excel Max and Board. In this video we are going to see functions, how to find its domain and range. Okay, domain and range. Here we are going to see only about real valued function. We will see functions, its domain and range. How to identify its domain and range. And in this we are going to see only about a real value function. As such we know in a function the set of all first element, or the set from, if the function is from A to B, the set A is called domain, set B is called codomain, and all the set of images is called range. Now they will give you the function and they will ask you to identify what all values the domain can take, or what is the domain and what is the range. Let us just find out how to identify the domain and the range with some examples. Now let us consider this example. Find the domain of f of x is equal to 1 by x plus 2. Let us consider this example. Now, since I have to find the domain f of x, so x, what all values x can take, so that 1 by x plus 2 is a real valued function. Okay, so this is the range. 1 by x plus 2 is the range. If the range need to survive, what all values can x take? Okay, so we have to find the solution for it. Now let us find. Clearly 1 by x plus 2. The numerator you see it is 1. So it will survive if and only if x plus 2 is not equal to 0. Correct? It should be defined. Means x should not be equal to negative 2. So it can take any values other than negative 2, then 1 by x plus 2 is, it will be properly defined. So I can write the domain as set of all real numbers except minus 2. This is how I should identify the domain, except. So that is why I have subtracted. Put a negative sign here. Minus 2x should not take negative value. Negative 2, other than negative 2, if it takes any value, 1 by x plus 2, the range will appear for this given function. That is how we should identify the domain. Now let us consider the second example. Find the domain of, again here also let us do one more sum. 2x minus 3 divided by x square minus 3x plus 2. Okay, again I have to find what is the domain. So clearly the denominator is quadratic, hence I am just factorizing, so it becomes 2x minus 3 by, what is the factor of x square minus 3x plus 2? What is the factor of it? X plus 1 into x plus 1 into x plus 2, is it? It is x minus 1 into x minus 2. Okay, this is the factor of this quadratic equation. Again, clearly here again, the function will be well defined if and only if the denominator is not equal to 0. I am not bothered about the numerator because 2x minus 3x can take any value. 2x minus 3 will survive. But the denominator should survive for what all values of x. That is what we need to check. So the denominator will vanish if x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 2, right? The denominator should not vanish, that is the denominator should not become 0. So if x is equal to 1 and 2, the denominator will become 0, then the function is not defined properly. So I can write here the domain. Domain is set of all real numbers except 1, 2. Do you understand? So this is how we should. The function is a real valued function. The function should be well defined. For what all values of x, the function is well defined. That is how you should check to identify the domain of the given function. Let us take one more example. Now in this case, let me go with a square root number. Question number 3. F of x is equal to root over x minus 2. Again, it is on the numerator, but still there is radical symbol. The radical symbol square root. We know it is a real valued function, means inside the root it should not be a negative number. If it is so, it becomes imaginary, right? There is no real root. That is what you have studied in our 10th standard. The discriminant is negative, there is no real root. So, for this function to be well defined, since it is on the numerator, it can take 0, but inside the root it cannot be negative. So, I can write x minus 2 to be greater than or equal to 0. It can take even 0 as an answer since it is on the numerator. The previous all the questions we were trying seeing about was in the denominator. So I said it should not be equal to 0 in the denominator. But here it is on the numerator, so it can take definitely 0 also as an answer. So I can write x to be greater than or equal to 2. So what can you say about the domain? So domain here is any number greater than 2 up to infinity. This is how you should check the uh, values of x so that the function is well defined. Now let us go move on to how to find the range of a given function. Range and domain we will see simultaneously. Now we have understood how to find the domain. Now we will do the sum where we identify both the domain and the range. Find the domain, find domain and range. Find domain and range of f of x is equal to x minus 2 by 3 minus x. This is the given question. So how to identify the domain and the range? This is the range, that is which is the range? X minus 2 by 3 minus x is the range. So what all values x can take so that the function is well defined. Here again, since the function is both consists of both numerator and the denominator, I am not bothered about the numerator because there is no radical sign in it. So x can take any values, any real numbers so that it will survive automatically. But the denominator 3 minus x should not be equal to 0. It can be negative, it can be positive, but it cannot take 0 as the value. So x cannot be equal to 3. So what is the domain here? So domain I can say domain is set of all real numbers except 3. This is the domain. Now let us see what is the range. Now we have understood what all values x can take. X can take any value other than 3, that is the domain. Now he is asking what is the range also, right? Now range. What is the range for this function? It is nothing but x minus 2 by 3 minus x. I am considering this range as y. Now I should find what all values y can take if x can take any real values other than 3. So if I substitute any real value other than 3, what all will be the answers, what all will be the images? That is what the question is asking about. Now I have a clear idea what x can take. So I am just going to rewrite this question so that x is equal. I am going to write in terms of x rather than as y. Okay. So I can write here x minus 2 is equal to y into 3 minus x. Okay. Now next, so I can write here x minus 2 is equal to 3y minus xy. Isolating x or separating x on one side, I get x plus xy is equal to 3y plus 2. Taking x commonly out, I get 1 plus y is equal to But here in the sum, we have got minus 3x, minus sine 3x. So multiplying by negative sign throughout, we get minus 1 lesser than or equal to minus sine 3x lesser than or equal to 1 for all real values of x. Now the denominator is 2 minus sine 3x. So subtracting everywhere 2, you get, so it is 1 lesser than or equal to 2 minus sine 3x lesser than or equal to 3 for all x belonging to real numbers. But it is on the denominator. 2 minus sine 3x should not be equal to 0 for us, for the domain for the function to be a real valued function, right? But it is very clear that it lies between 1 and 3. Therefore, I can write the denominator should not be equal to 0. But as we proceed, we are held up with denominator lies between 1 and 3 only for all values of x belonging to real numbers. So I can frame the domain as, or I can write the domain as any real numbers. That is how I conclude. Now let us move on to the range for this. Okay. Now let us move on to the range. How to find the range? Again, 1 lesser than or equal to 2 minus sine 3x lesser than or equal to 3. But our sum is our function is in the denominator. So just reciprocating, I get, when I reciprocate, the inequality will reverse. So I can write 1 by 3 lesser than or equal to 1 by 2 minus sine 3x less than or equal to 1. Clearly, the range lies between 1 by 3 and 1 by 1. So I can write range. Range is given by 1 by 3 to 1. It is close bracket because there is equality symbol here. So this is how we should find the domain and the range. Is it clear, children? Hope you have understood. In the next video, we'll learn the types of functions and how to identify whether the given function is one to one or not. Bye guys. Thank you for watching.